Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Athletic Studio podcast. We are your hosts. I am Kate Oman.
And I'm Gordon Jomini Vong.
Today's going to be another rapid fire episode. We're talking all things mastering your sleep. This is something Gordon absolutely loves to chat about. He's got his Aura ring, he's got his books. He's quite knowledgeable on this subject, so he's just going to chat to us.
I wouldn't sound.
Oh, come on, you're a big napper.
My sleep's terrible. I'm the best at napping. My sleep is terrible.
Yeah, so.
But I'm working on it.
Yeah, it's always a work in progress, and we're just going to little tidbits from this book, what you took away from it, and just sharing with our audience what's worked for us. And
look, our audience is very smart. They know the importance of sleep, but I came across this book and I just wanted to share some really insightful things that I got from this book. That I got from it was it just changed my perspective on the way that I look and think about sleep, and even with the advice that I give to clients. And I think it's very relevant to your busy mums, dads, professionals, the people that that we train as well, because they might be stressing out. Oh, I need to sleep 8 hours. I'm not getting my 8 hours, and it just makes them worse because then they're going in a cycle. Like, I'm never going to be a good sleeper, which is not necessarily the case, right? So the book that I came across is called Sleep by Nick Littlehales. We'll put a link in the show notes for you if you want to download it and read it. But what really grabbed my attention from it in the first place was this guy was the sleep coach for Manchester United when they were winning all their trophies, and NFL teams, sporting teams, elite athletes basically bring him in for him to consult for them and redo their whole sleeping pods to improve their recovery. I think one of the points was in the beginning, he made a really good point, was like with professional athletes, is that some days they'll play 2 to 3 games per week and they might not have the ability to sleep 8 hours, especially if they're traveling and they're on the road. Instead of thinking about getting total hours of sleep per day, you want to think of it as total sleep cycles per week. What do you think about that?
That's interesting. Can you elaborate? What is a sleep cycle?
Yeah, a sleep cycle I know goes for 90 seconds, and I believe it goes through.
90 seconds?
Not 90 seconds. Man, I'll be
going, oh God,
no. I'll be. Why?
No wonder you're so tired.
Yeah, why am I so tired? So a sleep cycle goes for 90 minutes. Yeah, it goes through your light sleep, REM sleep, deep sleep, and you come out of it, and then that will take 90 minutes for one sleep cycle.
Okay.
Yeah, so you want to think of it as total sleep cycles per week, and then what he recommends is like 35 cycles per week.
Mm-hmm.
If you're sleeping 7.5 hours per week, then you're hitting that 35 cycles per week.
So how many do you need a night?
7.5 hours equals to that 35 cycles per week. I guess that's where that 8 hours of sleep recommendation comes from.
Mm-hmm.
But you've just had a kid, or you're working a night shift, or super busy. There's just some days I know with me and some of the trainers, they're working early, some clients, they're just never going to get that.
Yeah. So what do you recommend? What does he recommend?
So you got to plan it, Kate. That's the whole thing.
Plan the sleep, right?
So you plan the sleep.
Yeah, right.
So let's say to get my 35 cycles of sleep, then I've been actually doing this unconsciously anyway, until I read the book and I'm like, oh shit, actually what I'm doing is actually okay. Because some nights you just won't get your full sleep, but then you can just plan ahead and go, all right, maybe the next day I'll go to sleep a little bit earlier
to add on the sleep cycle.
To add on. Yeah, if you really want to be strategic with it, you can actually just do it like an Excel spreadsheet and go, I'm going to get 3 sleep cycles here, 10 cycles here. I'm going to nap here as well.
Yeah, what is his take on napping? And so he obviously likes it.
Yeah, so his takes on napping are very positive, similar to most people. It's more of the quality of the nap and how long you nap for. For example, you nap for 10 to 20 minutes, power naps. They're still going to help your cognitive function and mental alertness, because you're not going to have that, what do they call it? They call it sleep inertia, when you're about to fall asleep and you wake up and you feel tired.
That's the worst, isn't it?
Yeah. Basically, if you're going to nap, there's only 2 options. You only nap for 20 minutes, or you nap for a full sleep cycle, which is 90 minutes.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, which makes sense too.
Yeah, no, for sure. Because it's the worst feeling of having a quick doze and you wake up and you feel terrible.
Yeah.
Avoiding that for sure. Yeah.
So that's on naps. But then going back to the sleep cycles, what's relevant for our audience, me, myself, or athletes is, just plan it out throughout the week and see how that goes. If that's not something that you've been doing either, and then just see how you feel rather than stressing out. Oh shit, I didn't get the 8 hours of sleep, and then stressing out over it.
Yeah.
Life happens. It is what it is.
Thinking more, when can I make this up?
Yeah. And you have a family and a partner, definitely probably try and work as a team and see if you can come to a compromise with them. Hey, I'm going to get more hours sleep this day. You can get more hours sleep that day. If you've got kids.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. You look after a baby.
For sure. And they say evidence says that in terms of getting body composition results, the lack of sleep is really detrimental to making progress. So I guess taking on this advice is really important because, if we do want to make, especially like those body fat reductions in ourselves or in our clients, sleep is huge. So something definitely to consider.
Yeah, and that's why they're having sleep pods quite popular these days, especially in those sporting teams, like those elite sporting teams. In the book, when it was talking about Manchester United, they'll have like AM and PM training, and they'll send their players from AM. The players would actually go home, and they would obviously be limited in how many hours sleep that they'll get.
Yeah.
So between the AM and PM session, they'll just stay in the club and then just utilize the club's sleeping pods. That would be optimized for obviously sleep. And then other countries, like I think in Japan or Korea, they actually have sleeping pods, everywhere. At their work or, everywhere.
I've seen them in like little...
Are they in Melbourne yet? Are they in the city?
No.
No?
I don't know how to describe them. Like almost bunk beds. You just, a little rectangle. You just slot in. Anyway, interesting.
Hygiene would be probably
a
big thing.
Yeah, that's actually true.
Yeah. I think we're on to the third point now. Is a good one was... in that book is actually understanding and working with your specific chronotype, which means if you're a morning person, which is a lark, or if you're an evening person, which is you're an owl, or you could be someone who's in between. But then he was comparing like a soccer player's performance. He would perform really well at night, but for some reason during the day games, he was just shit.
That's interesting, yeah.
Yeah. And that's quite relevant for training performance in weight training. I think sometimes maybe you might even look at your own performance and, perform better in the morning or perform better in the evening.
Yeah. What would you say you are?
Right now, I reckon I'm like lunchtime or afternoon, just naturally. But I know that's because my sleep cycle isn't the best and it's something I'm working on. Whereas if there have been times where my sleep pattern was just more regular and I'd train in the mornings, no problems.
Yeah, that's true. Would you say
I'd preferably, from lifestyle perspective, I'd preferably just train in the morning.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I want to be able to do that consistently.
Yeah. And are you a lark, an evening person, or is that lark? Oh, sorry. Morning person's a lark or an owl?
Right now, I'm somewhere in between.
Yeah.
But I was having this conversation with my hypnotherapist, who she's actually, I wouldn't say my business coach, but I go to her for some breakthroughs. And I was like, we'll get her on the podcast as well, because she's really good with health and fitness. I go to her, Forrest. Sorry, her name's Forrest. The reason why I'm not getting as much work done, and I just do my work in the evening on purpose, because I know I've got so much time during the day to be lazy. Because I live next to the studio.
So is it a procrastination
thing? It's
more
of a procrastination thing rather than a sleep thing.
More of a routine.
Yeah. So I've stuffed up my routine and then I've got to
reset it a bit.
Reset it back.
Yeah.
I could be a lark, a morning person if I wanted to.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you're a morning person.
Yeah, for sure. I think, just over time, especially now in this job, like you basically got to be. I'm definitely not a night owl. I'm cool to be in bed at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. That's chill for me. But
yeah, and if anyone follows Kate on her Instagram, you'll see her 6, 7 a.m. selfies or not selfies or at the gym, getting it done.
On the weekend.
Yeah.
I just like to get up. But like for me, because I don't have kids. I've got the ability to be able to sleep for the most part when I want to.
I guess with the chronotype is there would be a way, like some quizzes online to figure out your chronotype. If you've got an Oura Ring, Apple Watch, a Whoop Strap, I'm sure they'll be able to tell you. And you see what works for you. We have a lot of clients as well. They just know, hey, I want to do PT sessions in the evening. Like they're never going to come in during the morning.
Yeah.
Just because they know. But also, you can always change that as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You can train yourself into being more so of a morning person.
Yeah, but that's a good way to think of it, not just for training, but also if you want to be more productive, then do your productive work when it's going to be productive.
Yourself, not against.
Yeah, yes, that's true. So we've got here the sleep cycles, the naps, understanding your chronotype, and I think the last one was the sleep environment. This one was pretty cool. The thing that I liked about the book was basically you just want to be as close to nature as possible. Wake up when the sun rises. Go to bed, slowly start to wind down at sunset or when it starts to get dark.
Yeah. Sets out the circadian rhythm back to 1,000 years ago, what we would actually be doing. I think with the blue light and everything, that can be an issue with a lot of people's sleep or the ability to get to sleep because we are so overstimulated, whether that's watching TV, Netflix, going on your phone, emails before bed. I've seen increased popularity with blue light glasses. Did this book touch on that? Is that something he would say it's important or...
Yeah, definitely. You touched on like blue light glasses in the evening. And then one thing I didn't know about was in the morning, you can get sunrise lamps.
My God, they're the best. Yeah. Oh my God, they're called, what are they called? Hatches.
Hatches.
Yeah, and they like slowly light up your room
Yeah.
as a sunrise would. Because when you wake up and you put the light on, your eyes are like
Yeah.
you're squinting and you're feeling terrible. This one slowly lights up the room and it imitates basically a sunrise, which is cool.
When I read that, I was like, oh, shit, yeah. Straight away, I looked on Amazon try and get one.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking, but I'll wake up. If I have to come into the studio and train someone at 5.
You're doing it at 4:55?
Oh, it doesn't really matter, but it's more of Emily, my wife. She'll still be in bed.
So true. Being considerate.
YOLO. Nah, don't worry.
Sorry, Em.
Sorry.
The sun is coming up now.
Coming up.
No, that's true. I think as well, something that I've been focusing on lately is like sleep hygiene in terms of making sure blacked out. Like I know with daylight savings now, it can be challenging if I want to go to bed at 8:30 and it's still light outside. So making sure that the room's super dark, blackout curtains if you've got them, even wearing an eye mask, making sure there aren't little clock lights or anything like that can be disturbing. Having a solid routine. So there's a mode you can put on your phone. It's like a blue light mode. It takes all the blue light off of your phone, which is good. So if you want to or need to be on your phone, it goes onto this orange tinge. Yeah. You've got an iPhone, you can do it now.
Yeah.
Winding down, setting up yourself for a routine, I think is important because you can't just go from working a busy life or having a busy day and go straight to bed and expect yourself to fall asleep.
The iPhone, you can do black and white screen as well.
Can you?
Stuff that's too much.
Yeah.
My wife Emily, she uses the eye mask. I've tried as well, but it's just more of a comfort thing. I think I might have just got like an uncomfortable one. I need to get one that's more luxurious around the eyes.
There's this brand that actually one of my friends uses. Yeah. It's called Slip.
Okay. And
it's like a beautiful silk mask and it's like good for like your skin and it's not going to itch you and stuff. So you need to invest in one of those maybe. Yeah. Especially for the daytime naps.
Yeah, he touched on sleep hygiene in the book as well. Yeah, definitely the mask, the blue light, the lamp. A couple of things I was really impressed by was his attention to detail at the bed.
Yeah.
The bigger the bed, the better.
Yeah.
I think that's more like sleep comfort, obviously.
Your pillows, making sure they support your spine and neck.
Yeah. And he says when people go to a bedding place or they're looking at buying a new mattress, it's not the most expensive one, isn't necessarily the best. So it's one that's good for your spine.
Yeah.
Where you're not too deep into it or it's too hard.
Yeah.
So it's one that just keeps your spine neutral.
Yep.
And then he was saying about your sleep position, how there's an optimal sleep position. Apparently, you should be sleeping on your side, the weaker hand side. Oh. I'm right-handed, so it's going to be on my left side.
Interesting.
Because back in the day, if you were sleeping on your weaker side and if you come across some danger, then you've got your strong hand to be able to do something.
Interesting.
Yeah.
There you go. I thought it was a left side because of like the way your digestive system is set up. The digest better.
I don't know.
We probably need to fact check that. But yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Some people like to sleep on their stomach and like their neck to the side.
Yeah, but after reading the book, I started to try sleeping on my left side to start off with.
Yeah.
And you just turn around anyway.
Yeah, true. You don't even know what you're doing in your sleep. So start there, but go back to your normal, comfortable position.
With that particular book, there's some really good pointers.
Yeah.
I highly recommend if you're a busy individual. It's a very short, sharp book and you just get it, flick through it.
Yeah.
Get some tips on it.
Absolutely. I think it's just, there are so many benefits to having at least adequate, if not great sleep, that it's severely underrated. So it's a good topic to dive into a little bit more if you think you need some education on it, for sure.
If you don't know the benefits of sleep, very simply, it's going to help you release growth hormone to help your performance and your recovery. It's going to improve your cognitive function and mood. Everyone knows this. You don't need me to read out scientific dot points that I got from ChatGPT, right? Work performance. Harvard Business Review, actually, lack of sleep negatively impacts leadership effectiveness. There you go. So, and then family relationships as well. So sleep improves.
Sleep's the best.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to today's episode, guys. Hope you inspired some good sleep.
Yeah.
Moving forward. But yeah, you can find us on Instagram at Athletic Studio Podcast and we'll chat to you in our next episode.
Thanks, guys.
If you found this episode useful, it would mean the world to us if you shared, rated, and liked this podcast. It's how we keep it alive.
Also, be sure to follow us on Instagram at Athletic Studio. We would love to connect with you and see how your fitness and health improves with this newfound knowledge. Until next time.